Imagine this: an Ice Age group prepares to leave their valley as a severe storm approaches. 3 people suggest different routes. A skilled hunter points towards a shorter mountain pass. An older group member recommends staying near their current shelter. Food is limited, snow nears. Nobody wears a crown. Nobody sits on a throne. Who decides what everyone should do next? Group life demanded constant decisions, starting with when to move camp and where to find water. They needed to decide which animals to follow, and how much precious food to share with others. Whether to approach strangers, when to stop traveling, and where best to build temporary shelter. How to respond to injuries, who watch the children, and how to settle any disagreements. Even whether a risky hunt was truly worthwhile for the whole community demanded careful thought. Poor decisions could have severe costs for the group, losing food, energy, and precious time. They could also lose warmth, social trust, safety, and ultimately, the group's unity. But every person might want something different. Parents prioritized their children's safety. Hunters, naturally, might prioritize following animal movements for success in the hunt. Older adults might prioritize a safer, more predictable route, even if it took longer to travel. Injured people needed the group to remain still, allowing for crucial time to heal properly. Leadership helped groups turn these competing needs into coordinated, effective action. If everyone wanted a different route, whose judgment would you trust first? It's a real dilemma. Perhaps someone with proven experience navigating such treacherous and unpredictable terrains. Or maybe the person most skilled in anticipating dangers, especially those unseen. Or the elder, whose vast life experience offered wisdom beyond immediate skills and threats. Here is the important difference: leadership was not the same as kingship in the Ice Age. We must understand the distinction between influence, leadership, authority, and dominance. A person can certainly influence others without holding the direct power to punish them. A temporary leader might guide one urgent task, yet hold very little authority afterward. We should not assume every Ice Age group automatically had a chief or a hereditary ruler. Nor a permanent social hierarchy, a council of elders, or just one dominant male leader. Small, mobile groups likely depended heavily on personal autonomy and individual choices. People could sometimes respectfully disagree, refuse to participate, or choose to leave. They might persuade, negotiate, or even join another camp if current leadership failed. Leadership without overt coercion demanded true cooperation and active participation from followers. If nobody accepted a leader's decision, then that leader had very little actual power. A king orders from above, exercising authority over subjects in a structured hierarchy. An informal leader stands among the group, trying to convince and persuade them. This subtle difference shaped decisions in many small, mobile Ice Age communities. Different challenges likely created different leaders, adapting to the immediate task at hand. During travel, an experienced navigator recognized rivers, ridges, and safe crossing points. They understood approaching storms and how to find shelter in an ever-changing landscape. During a hunt, a skilled hunter understood animal movements, timing, and group positioning. Their knowledge of silence and strategy was critical for a successful outcome for everyone. During gathering, an experienced gatherer identified seasonal plants, water, and safe foods. When injury occurred, a caregiver organized warmth, rest, and protection for the affected. They often redistributed tasks, ensuring everyone contributed to the recovery process now. During toolmaking, a craft specialist demonstrated material selection and production sequence. During childbirth, an experienced helper guided preparation and organized nearby support carefully. During conflict, a calm speaker might prevent an argument from ultimately dividing the group. The most physically powerful person was not always the most useful or respected leader. One person might be greatly respected in a specific situation and then ignored in another context. Would you follow the strongest person, or the one who understood the immediate danger better? Often, specialized knowledge proved more valuable than pure physical strength in many situations. So, how did group decisions actually work? One possible pattern was open discussion. Quiet negotiation, where individuals expressed their needs and concerns softly. Listening intently to the most experienced individuals, valuing their accumulated wisdom. Comparing several observations to build a comprehensive picture of the current situation. Watching carefully to see who others supported, indicating emerging consensus organically. Sometimes delaying until agreement improved, allowing more information to emerge naturally. Separating temporarily, or testing one option on a smaller scale to assess its viability. Ultimately, following the person with the most relevant experience for the problem at hand. These were possibilities, not one universal political system or rigid hierarchical structure. Imagine a camp discussion around a warm, flickering fire. The decision emerges here. One person describes the changing weather, sharing vital information for their next move. Another explains the fresh animal tracks, indicating potential hunting opportunities or dangers. A caregiver points toward the children and highlights the limited supply of available food. The final decision emerges from several different kinds of knowledge and various perspectives. Consensus does not mean everyone felt equally satisfied, it's about collective action. It simply means enough people accepted one plan to act together for the greater good. Discussion could take a considerable amount of time, fostering deep consideration. However, emergencies could certainly force much faster decisions, demanding quick action. Some voices likely carried more influence than others during crucial discussions. Age, gender, family relationships, skill, personality, and reputation all played a role. Their importance probably varied significantly between different Ice Age communities. Leadership requires followers to believe someone is worth following and truly trustworthy. Influence may grow when a person consistently makes useful and wise decisions. Sharing food generously, helping others during critical emergencies, and teaching new skills. Remaining calm under pressure, keeping important promises, and avoiding unnecessary conflict too. Remembering crucial roots, understanding seasonal changes, and speaking very clearly. Finally, accepting responsibility after a failure, demonstrating crucial accountability always. A successful hunter who refused to share food might quickly lose all social trust. Conversely, a physically weaker person with excellent judgment could gain significant influence. Generosity could strengthen reputation, but it also might create new social expectations. Leadership could bring significant benefits, respect, allies, support, and social attention. But it also brought costs, more responsibility, blame, pressure to share, and great risk. Would you still want to lead if every failure then became your personal responsibility? How did groups limit dominance? They developed ways to resist a controlling individual. Possible responses included open criticism, using subtle humor, or outright refusal. They might ignore the person, supporting another's voice, or sharing resources without them. Moving to another camp was always an option, a powerful form of social resistance. Confronting selfish behavior directly or carefully reducing the person's social reputation. These are presented as cautious comparisons, not proven universal Ice Age practices. Influence depends on social support. Someone who boasts might weaken their own standing. Someone who kept the best food might later lose the vital cooperation of the group. A skilled person can become influential without being allowed to control every single decision. We should not romanticize equality. Small communities could still experience bullying. They could have unequal influence, favoritism within families, and occasional conflict. Intimidation or social exclusion might occur, but it was not permanent political hierarchy. Danger often temporarily changed decision-making, demanding swift, decisive action. During a sudden storm, an animal threat, or a rapidly spreading fire, speed mattered. During an injury, a dangerous river crossing, or a failed hunt, rapid decisions were vital. Someone who noticed the danger first might direct immediate action for survival. Temporary command can be extremely useful when speed matters more than discussion. After the immediate emergency passed, that temporary authority usually disappeared again. We see a navigator leading the group through a fierce, driving storm for safety. Next, a caregiver taking swift, decisive control during a sudden, critical injury. A hunter signals the entire group to stop, sensing immediate danger ahead. This does not prove permanent rank. The same person might follow others next time. Leadership became more complex when several communities gathered in one place. These larger gatherings could involve shared hunting, trade, and important ceremonies. They might have partner meetings, funerals, resource collection, and valuable story exchange. Alliance building and conflict resolution were vital, bringing diverse groups together. These situations are presented as possibilities, not necessarily universal, fixed events. A person respected in one camp might hold little influence over complete strangers. Larger gatherings needed skilled speakers, negotiators, hosts, and ritual specialists. Hunt coordinators and people with strong relationships across many different groups. Ornaments, unusual objects, or elaborate burials may suggest social difference, certainly. However, they do not automatically prove kings, chiefs, or inherited political power. Archaeology provides clues, but political leadership leaves weak, indirect traces only. Researchers may examine elaborate burials, unequal grave goods, and rare ornaments closely. Long-distance materials, specialized objects, diet differences, and camp organization also. But these valuable clues can often have several very different interpretations. An elaborate burial could reflect family identity, ritual importance, or unique circumstances. Community investment, social distinction, or meanings now entirely lost to history. It does not directly reveal who made daily decisions or who spoke most persuasively. Nor does it tell us if authority was inherited or whether others could simply refuse. Archaeology preserves physical objects better than abstract concepts like social influence. Now, let's return to our original storm decision, back in that icy, ancient valley. The navigator notices that the river valley strategically blocks the strongest winds. The hunter recognizes fresh animal movement near the treacherous mountain pass ahead. The older adult recalls that the current shelter floods during heavy snowmelt reliably. Considering all insights, the group collectively chooses the protected river route pathway. The navigator led, but every member watched, contributed, and supported their collective journey. Ice Age leadership was probably not one crown worn by one permanent, unchanging ruler. It may have been a changing relationship between knowledge, trust, and gentle persuasion. Between reputation, eager followers, and the pressing problem facing the entire group. Before kings inherited power, leaders often had to earn attention again and again. Who would you follow first? The strongest, the oldest, the smartest, or the most trusted? If you enjoyed this exploration, please like, share, and subscribe to Glacial for more. The Ice Age challenged humanity with harsh realities, forcing difficult choices daily. Survival depended not just on individual strength, but on group cohesion and wisdom. Decisions about migrations, food sources, and shelter were literally matters of life and death. One possible pattern was that influence shifted depending on the specific situation. A skilled hunter might lead the pursuit of game, their expertise unquestioned then. A calm speaker might guide a group discussion, valued for their clear communication skills. Generosity, often crucial for survival, built trust and reputation over time in groups. Trust and reputation were the very foundations upon which all influence was truly built. When facing danger, swift leadership, often temporary, could be life-saving for all. Archaeological findings provide valuable clues, yet they leave much room for interpretation. Ultimately, leadership was about earning the right to guide, through respect and shared purpose. Our Ice Age group, having weighed their options, moved towards the river valley. The navigator led, but every member watched, contributed, and supported their collective journey. No single crown, just a dynamic interplay of trust, knowledge, and collective survival for all. Who would you follow first? The strongest, the oldest, the smartest, or the most trusted?